Let me bring in Congressman Bennie Thompson, Democrat from Mississippi and a member of the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, good morning, and I know you're going to be briefed today. What can you tell us right now?
Well, I think we can assure the public that Congress is monitoring this situation. We're working with state and local partners to make sure we get all the evidence, and I think the system worked. Our responders were there, police, fire, health personnel, and what we're now doing is collecting the evidence to try to get to the bottom of what really happened.
Is there any doubt in your mind at this point that this was likely an act of terror?
Well, I think before we tied to an act of terror, it was a bad deed. Whether it's a lone wolf, whether it's an international terrorist-related organization or what, we have to find the individuals involved, and then we can let the information we receive call what it is. So our state, federal, local individuals are doing their job. Let's make sure we catch the perpetrator or perpetrators who did this dastardly deed and let the facts drive us to an assumption or the facts.
Now, we know law enforcement said they weren't hearing any chatter on the usual channels that they monitor, but the Southern Poverty Law Center wrote a letter to Attorney General Eric Holder warning that, quote, as in the period before the Oklahoma City bombing, we are now seeing ominous threats from those who believe that the government is poised to take their guns. Is this something you had heard anything about as a member of that committee?
Well, we've had hearings that talk about both international terrorists as well as domestic terrorists. There are over 1,000 organizations identified here in this country with some domestic terrorist nexus. So it's an issue as to whether or not it develops here in Boston remains to be seen. But all of the systems are focused on trying to identify who the party or parties involved in this dastardly act.
Congressman Bennie Thompson, thanks so much for being with us today.